Hello and welcome back to Lovely Gardening Bits. I'm starting today's video in the office because I filmed the other day outside and realised that when I went to edit, I forgot to actually film an intro. So the other day, it was a lovely day. It was like, just made me so happy. And I was sowing my seeds, finally. Like, this is one of my favourite parts of the whole gardening thing because, first of all, like, the job in and of itself is so, like, therapeutic and methodical, and you know, you're kind of just going blah, 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 blah. And in my head I was like, those little seeds in a few weeks are going to germinate, in a few months are going to fill my garden. And actually it's exactly what I needed that day, because that morning I was really anxious. I don't know why. I don't know, I need to journal out what it was. But I actually uploaded a reel, I'll leave it linked below, and it was just so appropriate for what happened to me that day, in that it's exactly doing the seeds, sowing the seeds, calmed my brain so much. And like that, I'll, as I said, please go and watch the reel. I think, like, those of you who love like the whole gardening aspect of it for like mental health, I think you might go, oh yeah, I totally get what she means. I just wanted to show you what you need if you are going to be sowing seeds. Now, you don't need all the trays or anything like that. I realized that after I filmed and when I was editing. Like, if you have, I'm trying to think, if you have like egg cartons or like old yogurt pots, stick a few drainage holes in the plastic pots. The egg cartons you can cut up and you can plant those things directly in there. But it's just, I think that, like, yeah, when you're sowing seeds, you are doing something for your future self. Like, in a few months, hopefully, if they germinate, those seeds are going to fill the garden. For me, I love it so much because at that moment in time, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm getting the therapeutic benefits of it. It helps calm me down. But then it also makes me like think of the future then as well. But yeah, I will be sowing more seeds. So I'm probably not going to show me sowing lots of seeds, because I think when you've watched somebody sow one set of seeds, you've watched them all. But I will, as they start to germinate, I'll show you what I've sown. Or unless if you want to see, maybe if I am going to be sowing during the week, maybe I'll show you this is what I'm sowing this week. Would that be helpful? Or, because I just think sometimes it's good to do like a little sow along. This is what I got up to the other day. So here's what I'll be using to sow the seeds. So we have seed sowing compost. I really like that because it's nice and finely milled. You don't want to have, like, regular compost will be too gritty and won't have too many kind of big chunks for, and the seeds might not germinate, because that's what we want. Lots of little seedlings. Now, you do not need all of these things. I just love sowing seeds. So we've got those. Got these that I've saved from different plants I bought over the years. I bought these little ones on Amazon last year. So they have a base and like a lid. They're like little propagators and you close them. Got those ones. I bought this last year because I thought it would be handy to have kind of like bigger pots if I wanted to sow them and like put them in here rather than the seed trays. But I have lots of seed trays of different sizes. We've got more. And then for the likes of the sweet peas and any peas or like sweet corn, we've got like longer ones, so that's good. We have propagator lids, so that will kind of keep the area moist inside. Like, if you want to put like loads of compost in the bottom, you could put this over the top and it will help keep the slugs out, and it will help keep the moisture in, the humidity. Yeah, and I have like a little long one there. So now, actually, underneath this, see this little yellow thing? I'll show you now. This is one of my favourite things that I bought last year. Let me show you why. So when it comes to seed sowing, I would usually use seed sowing compost, and then to help aerate the soil, I would usually use vermiculite, but I didn't have that, so we're going to try perlite. I think I've used that before. I think it's been fine. What I like about this tray is that you can load and mix both of these in there, and then you can load up your seed trays. It's a lot less messy, because I probably will have this table destroyed anyway. But yeah, just got this in a garden centre. So I had to go to one of the, not garden centres, DIY shops yesterday to pick up some of these. Because I'll be sowing so many seeds, I need to be able to label them properly. And I like the plastic ones better than the wooden ones, because you can reuse them, and the wooden ones can tend to get a little bit mouldy. So just got some short ones, some long ones, just waterproof markers. So we're good to go. But then we knew it was going to happen. Okay, So this DIY shop, I'm never in it. I haven't been in there in a year, so I've been looking for this Amy Mages because I want the height and like the little bit of drama and structure. I got Oxeye Daisies, love them. Got these. I know I have like darker cornflower, but wait till you see, I bet you probably have the exact same as this. Then I know I have millions of Cosmos, but the reason why I got these, first of all they're new, but also they're really small. Then they go up to like 3 inches. It's like a little compact variety. And then I thought these were gorgeous. Sarah Raven. Because I feel like with the poppies we're going to get like so many seeds that we can save. There we go. My pals are back. Got the Helichrysum. I don't know, straw flowers. Love these because I want to try and dry these. One of you recommended them in one of the last couple of videos. And I was like, oh yes. So when I saw them, I was like, and like I think they're a mix. Yeah. And then the little dart, because I did mention them in last week's video that I didn't have them, so I just needed to get them. An excuse. So now I'm just going to go and pick out some seeds to sow today. The sun is trying to come out. It's going to come past those clouds in a few minutes and give me some vitamin D. Guys, I had to take my jacket off because it was warm in the sun and now it's freezing. But the sun's going to come out now in a second. But I'm just going to show you the bit, like I was going through my seed box and I just got really overwhelmed. But I'm going to have a plan. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to sow. Then we'll go into like a little montage of me sowing my bits. This is where it all happens now, lads. I'm so excited. Wait, the sun. This is what I needed. This is what's good for my soul. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to sow. Okay, we've got the zinnia section. I'm going to sow zinnia, Cinderella Peach, because those are the ones that I got from Catherine. March sow. Zinnia Forecast. Zinnia Pinwheel. I've grown those before, they're gorgeous. Got the Zinnia Purple Prince. And Zinnia Sombrero. This is very festive, as in summer festive. Then I'm going to try these in seed trays. So the Cosmos Apricotta, the Helichrysum, the Little Dart, the Sunburst Mixed, and then the Harlequin. So those are the ones that I got from Catherine a couple of months ago. So we got the Lupin Dwarf Gallery Mixed. I think I tried these before, but I think the slugs got them, but this year it's going to happen. And then these are lupin seeds that I saved from last year, and so I soaked them. So there's a couple that have germinated, so I'm going to sow those. Now I'll try and find footage of this colour. So as you can see, these ones are quite like pastel-y, whereas these ones are, I think, kind of like an orange and a yellow. We're going to do those. Then we're going to do Aranthinum. Now I do have Aranthinum plants there. I don't know if they'll bloom again. We'll see. I'm going to do those. And then it's sweet pea season. So got sweet pea, Mary Lou Hurd, King Edward VII, sweet pea Painted Lady, and sweet pea Summer Sizzler. And then I think the final flower that I'll do today is the Amy Mages. Okay, so there's those. I don't have enough garden for this. Okay, so in terms of vegetables, I want to sow these because I love these, the early peas. We like those. Then I'm going to do radishes, but I'm just going to keep them in like a little container. French radish. Matthew loves sugar snap peas, and to be honest, we all do. We love coming out and just chomping them, so I'm going to try in succession sow these. Will I have room for them all? We don't know. Then I'm going to sow Padron peppers because I think I want to get them kind of going now. I'm going to sow my tomatoes, Gardener's Delight. If you're new to sowing tomatoes, these are a really easy variety to grow. They're so sweet and you get loads. And over the course of the summer, I'll show you how I like prune them and stuff. Love them. I'm going to do sweet pepper lunchbox mix. I love them little peppers. I think they're cute and like they're just snackable. I think they're going to be really tasty. Then Sun Gold tomato. I've grown those the last 2 years. Again, so sweet, so gorgeous, and really, really easy to grow. They're like small little baby tomatoes. And then I'm going to try and grow these peppers. So I think I'll probably end up leaving the peppers in the greenhouse. For anybody asking, I bought that greenhouse not last year, the year before. I don't remember where, maybe Woody's. And then the cover that came with it kind of disintegrated at the end of that year. So then early last year I bought this new cover from Amazon, and it's great. It's really, really sturdy. And then inside here I have the first greenhouse, like the skeleton, I suppose, of the first greenhouse I ever had. So that is going to be full before long. I need a proper greenhouse. Okay, let's get cracking on these. I'm so excited to be sowing my seeds. So I like to mix a whole bag of seed compost. I try to do like as many seeds as I can at once, because Lord knows I have enough seeds. And today I'm mixing it with perlite. Usually I would mix it with vermiculite, but I didn't have any of that at the time, and I mixed it all together. Get my hands dirty. Don't give out to me for not wearing gloves. This is what gives me joy, hands in there. And so I like to add water to it as well, because if you are sowing seeds on pre-moistened soil, it just makes life a little bit easier, because if you try to sow seeds on wet soil and then if you go to pour the water over it, you could dislodge some of the seeds. So this way you don't have to do that. So yeah, you don't need all of these trays that I have. You know me, I love the equipment. As I said, you can use whatever you have at home. If you have old pots from plants that you've bought over the years, you can use those. If you have yogurt pots, anything plastic you can use it, and it's a good way of kind of reusing the plastic that you already have. Just make sure that you have drainage holes in the bottom. Just use a screwdriver or a drill, and then you can put some rocks at the bottom or stones at the bottom just to add for extra drainage. So you can see here I am making sure to read through the instructions of the seeds that I'm about to sow. And on my little tag I write the name of the seed that I'm sowing, the plant that I'm sowing, and then on the other side I write the date that I sowed it, just so that I know if I do go to do succession sowing, which I really am going to try and do when it comes to the food, not the tomato. So it just means that I know when I've sowed those. Just trying to be a little bit more organised, gals, you know. But this is just my favourite thing. Oh, I absolutely love sowing seeds so much. And if you don't, and you can always treat yourself to a few cheap seeds from your garden centre or from your supermarket. Get some compost and go wild. We probably won't be going that wild because it's seeds at the end of the day. Oh my God, guys, that sun. The sun is warming my bones and my face. Oh, it's lovely. Up to mid-March is the last time that I can sow these pepper seeds, so I wanted to get those, I was going to say in the ground, but into the soil as soon as possible and label everything as much as I can. This gives me joy, it really does. So I wanted to try and sow some of my lupin seeds and see if I can get much out of them this year. Tried to grow lupin plants from seeds before, but the slugs just took over, so I'm going to try really hard to enforce kind of natural slug barriers. I don't want to use pellets, I don't want to use anything like that, because I grow so much food in the garden. For the larger seed trays, I like to add a couple of seeds in per section, because it just means that if one doesn't germinate, I've not wasted that whole section there. So, and I do the same for the peas as well. I'm sowing 2 per section. I think I learned this from Monty John. It increases your chance of having some sort of a plant. You can thin plants out, or you can separate them then as well if you wanted to, you know, grow them on in their own pots. Potting on is one of my other favourite hobbies in life when it comes to the garden. Again, it's really therapeutic, really methodical. I love it. Just looking at these, so these aren't, because they must have warped, they're not fully sitting on there, because like slugs will be able to get in there. I just don't want the slugs to eat my seeds, because I'd be so annoyed. Anyway, we'll figure something out. I'm just going to keep sowing seeds here, and I'll show you what I've done at the end. I'm just going to sit in silence and not have to worry about the camera or angles or anything like that. This is just so good for the soul. It makes me so happy. I'll actually show you these in action when I go to do those towards the end. These are the deep root kits and I'm going to do the sweet peas. And oh, I said that I would do peas in there, but I didn't. I put them in something else. It's my first time using these really deep seed trays, and I'm excited to see how they go, because in the past I've used just the inside of toilet rolls for my sweet peas. I try to, if I am sowing my peas, like regular peas, I'll try to sow those in slightly bigger containers because they grow really quickly. They get really established roots really quickly. So I'm hoping to see what happens with these. And as well, for these sweet peas, I'm putting in a couple of seeds per section just to increase the germination. I probably won't try to separate them if they both germinate. I'll just put 2 plants in the ground together and it'll be fine, because they will just climb up whatever I put them in front of. I'm trying to decide whether I want to grow them up a trellis, up the arch, up some bamboo canes. I'm not sure yet. And you know what? This is going to be half the fun, trying to figure out what I want to put where and how, because this year I want a lot of height in the garden. I want structure. I want the plants to look really established, and because I have like my little vases, I want to try and get as many little blooms as I can. And like I said before, I think it was in last week's video, which I leave linked below, when it comes to sweet peas, they are one of the best cut and come again flowers. So the more you cut them, the more they'll bloom. Then when it comes towards the end of the season, you can let some of them go to seed and save them for next year, so that you won't buy seeds. Will I do that? Probably not, like, let's be real. So we have the sweet peas. I still have to fill those up, but I'll do that another day. I just don't want to open up the second bag of compost, just yet. I don't have time to kind of dedicate to it. I found 2 more of these, so hopefully they will fit better. So yeah, we've got like some sunflowers and everything in there. I'm excited. Oh, I put the Mages in there because it said to put it in a tray. Oh, I'm so excited. But I didn't sow the whole packet, so I'll have more for next year. I think I'm just going to tidy up here and go get ready for dinner. Oh my god, gals, that was just exactly what I needed. I just came back inside now because I feel like I can talk louder when I'm not outside. See, on the weekends, the area itself is like a little bit louder, but during the week it's very quiet. So I need to get like my external microphone so that I can just talk it like this low, but you can still hear me. But that was just good for the soul. I needed that. This morning, like, I feel myself like feeling anxious and I don't know what for. But as soon as I got outside, I was like, this is what I needed. Like, to me, that is my therapy. Like, it would be even better on days like that if I wasn't filming, because I'm like thinking of the different, am I in shot? Is it in focus? Am I showing anybody's house? But no, it was just such a gorgeous couple of hours in the garden. Used up a whole thing of seed compost. I'm going to need more. I know I still have another one, but like, we saw how many seeds I have. I have a lot to sow. I'm going to try and sow more seeds. Don't know if I'll have time tomorrow, but I really want to try and cut the grass too. It's going to be very wet and very long. But anyway, I'm not going to film that because that'll be boring, because I'll just be fighting with the lawnmower trying to get it through the grass. But if you are new to gardening, if you are a beginner gardener, or if you are wondering, oh, it's getting dark now. If you are wondering, should you go out and sow seeds, please do. It's just like, as you're putting them into the soil, you're like, I'll see you in a few weeks, fingers crossed. And you're going to be like a little plant. Like, that little seed is going to give so much joy and colour and vibrance and life to the garden. It's going to bring life in. It's going to bring birds and bees and hoverflies and all kinds of mad things. And it's just fab. Anyway, I get very carried away. I'm excited. And in a week, we're going to have St. Patrick's Day here in Ireland, well, everywhere. But that's the day for the last few years that I have planted out my potatoes. So I'm hoping that my nephew can come over. He is now 6.5. If I do film him, I'll block out his face, or else I won't show his face at all. But yeah, he's loved kind of helping me plant them the last couple of years. I know, he's so cute. So not last year, the year before, I got him over to sow tomato seeds with me. And like, he wasn't that interested at the time when he was like doing it, and he was like, that's fine, because he was only like 4 at the time. But a couple of months later, when they were like little plants and everything, and he came over and I was like, these are all the seeds that you've sown. And look at them, they're plants. And he was just like, I'm so proud of them. And then he would like hold them up to the sun to get sunlight. He was so cute. Yeah, so if you can, try and sow some seeds with the kids. I'm going to be trying to do succession sowing. I just need to plan out. I think I'm going to have my seed box here, and I think over the weekend I'll organise the seeds into the months the way like one of you said you were going to do. I think that would help me. Anyway, listen, I will see you in next week's video. Have a gorgeous Sunday, whatever you're doing. It's Mother's Day here in Ireland, so we're just going to have some time with the fam, time with our mum, and yeah, just chill. And just hope that the warmer weather comes. We just need a bit more heat. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in next week's video.